In this video, we're looking at converting metric units. This is something we have already looked at in Module 1 when we did the work on fractions and ratio, where you had to express one quantity as a fraction of another, so you had to get them into the same units, or when you wanted to express something as a ratio and you needed them both to be in the same units. So we're going to build on that now. So these are the basic equivalents that you are expected to know. First of all, for length, you should know that 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres, that 1 metre is 100 centimetres or 1,000 millimetres. Of course, centi means a hundredth. A cent is a hundredth of a dollar or a euro. And milli means a thousandth or 1,000, as in millennium is 1,000 years. And 1 kilometre is 1,000 metres. So kilo also means 1,000. Milli comes from Latin, hence the M in Roman numerals meaning 1,000, and kilo comes from ancient Greek. For mass, 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams, 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, just the same as with distance, millimeters and kilometers, milligrams and kilograms. And 1 ton, 1 metric ton is spelt like this, is 1,000 kilograms. You also get imperial tons, which are just TON, and they're different, but you don't worry about those. Volume, 1 milliliter is the same amount as 1 cubic centimeter, 1 centimeter cubed. 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters, so of course that's 1,000 centimeters cubed as well. 1 centiliter, you sometimes see this on bottles, particularly bottles of wine. So cent again is a hundredth, so a centiliter is a hundredth of a litre, so that means it must be 10 millilitres. Now when you're converting something into a bigger unit, so for example if you're going from centimetres to metres, the number of metres will be fewer than the number of centimetres. 100 centimetres is just 1 metre. So you need to divide. If you're converting something into a smaller unit going the other way, then of course you need to multiply. If you've got 1 metre and you need to turn it into centimetres, that's 100 centimetres, so you times it by 100. Now some for you to have a go at. Pause the video, work out your answers, press play when you're ready to go through them. So to turn 5.2 metres into centimetres, we know that 1 metre is 100 centimetres. So 5.2 metres must be 5.2 lots of 100, so 520 centimetres. 200 millilitres into litres. Well, we know that 1,000 millilitres is 1 litre. So to get from millilitres to litres, we need to divide by 1,000. So 200 divided by 1,000 gives you 0.2 litres. So 200 millilitres, 0.2 litres, is about a mug's worth of liquid. 0.3 tonnes into kilograms. Well, we know that 1 tonne is 1,000 kilograms. So this must be 0.3 of 1,000, 0.3 times 1,000, which is 300 kilograms. 325,000 centimetres into kilometres. Now it makes sense to do this one in 2 stages, just like we did with map scales. First, let's turn it into metres. We need to divide by 100 to turn centimetres into metres. And then turn the metres into kilometres, so we divide by 1,000. So 325,000 divided by 100 turns it into metres, 3,250 of them. And divide that by 1,000 to turn the metres into kilometres. Notice I do not say 325,000 divided by 100 is 3,250 divided by 1,000 is 3.25, because that would mean that this bit was the same as 3.25, which clearly it isn't. You should split it out. Ideally write it on 2 lines, but I've just split it with a semicolon because of the lack of space here. 4.5 litres into centimetres cubed. Well, let's put it into millilitres first. 1 litre is 1,000 millilitres. So 4.5 litres must be 4.5 thousand millilitres. And of course, 1 milliliter is the same as 1 centimetre cubed. So 4.5 times 1,000 gives you 4,500 millilitres, which is the same as 4,500 cubic centimetres. 0.7 litres into centiliters. Well, 1 litre is 100 centiliters. So we've got 0.7 of 1 litre, so 0.7 of 100 centiliters. So that's 0.7 times 100, which is 70 centiliters. And you'll often see that on a bottle of wine. Now, how many centimetre squares are there in a metre square? It's not 100. Think it through for a moment. So this is a metre square. So it's a metre along here and a metre up here. And of course, 1 metre is 100 centimetres. And 1 metre is 100 centimetres this way as well. So altogether, we've got 100 rows of 100 centimetres. So in fact, there are 10,000 centimetres squared in a metre squared. So can you work out how many cubic centimetres, centimetres cubed, there are in a cubic metre? Do the same thing again, but this time it's in 3 dimensions. Think about it for a moment. So we've got a metre or 100 centimetres here, a metre here, which is another 100 centimetres, and a metre here, which is another 100 centimetres. So the total volume is 1 by 1 by 1 metre, 1 metre cubed, but it's 100 times 100 times 100 centimetres cubed. And 100 times 100 times 100 is a 1 with 6 zeros after it, a million. So 1 metre cubed is actually 1 million centimetres cubed, which might surprise you.